Hello, I am Yubin Kim from the nonprofit organization Children and Dreams. Children and Dreams is dedicated to enhancing Braille literacy rate among visually impaired children. Our mission encompasses providing Braille word learning kits and tactile play materials supporting the education, nutrition, and healthcare of underprivileged children both domestically and internationally, and conducting disability awareness campaigns to improve the quality of life for the visually impaired. We aim to distribute 600 Braille word learning kits to 2 schools for blind children in Seoul, helping visually impaired students acquire essential skills for Braille literacy. In South Korea, there are approximately 250,000 visually impaired individuals. Braille is a tactile reading and writing system, making early childhood, when tactile senses are most receptive, a critical time for effective Braille and tactile training. Unfortunately, the development and distribution of tactile play materials designed for visually impaired children have been seriously lacking in South Korea. As a result, the Braille literacy rate among visually impaired individuals is only 10%, leaving 90% unable to read Braille. To address this issue, Children and Dreams has been actively producing Braille learning materials since 2019. These materials are hand-sewn by volunteers and delivered to schools for the blind. Through these efforts, we aim to lower the illiteracy rate and help visually impaired individuals communicate more effectively with the world. Studies also show that visually impaired people who can read and write Braille have more than double the employment opportunities, emphasizing the critical role of Braille education in achieving academic and career successes, as well as self-realization. However, there remains a significant shortage of Braille learning kits for students in the 14 schools for the blind across South Korea. To help fill this gap, we are applying for a €10,000 grant from TH Fund to produce and distribute 600 Braille learning kits. Game Changers from Concentrix Korea will participate in hand-sewing these kits as a voluntary activity, which will then be delivered to visually impaired students in 2 schools for the blind in Seoul. Families and teachers of visually impaired children have provided consistently positive feedback. They report that these kits significantly enhance the children's education, social skills, and tactile development, allowing the continued learning and better integration into society. After receiving the Braille learning kits, children use them as supplementary teaching materials during lessons. These kits not only improve Braille literacy and tactile training, but also provide opportunities for art education and socialization, contributing to the holistic development of visually impaired children. We plan to evaluate the positive impact of the Braille learning kits donated to the 2 schools for the blind by conducting surveys with the teachers in charge. The surveys will assess the utilization, satisfaction, and overall impact of the Braille learning kits. The management costs account for 10% of the total grants. This includes the shipping cost for delivering the Braille learning kits to Concentrix Korea's Game Changers, the inspection and repackaging of the 600 hand-sewn kits completed by the Game Changers, and any necessary revisions before delivering the kits to the 2 schools for the blind. It also covers administrative procedures involved in donating the kits to the 2 schools.